Good evening, DGents. This is Jason Money Mansman here with the Distinguished DeGents podcast, putting out a quick Friday night video. Just something to think about after the Eagles' 29-17 victory over the Houston Texans. Of course, if you like our content, certainly please feel free to subscribe to our channel. Not only our channel, but also the Harbor Discussions channel, which we will be back on next week. Just wanted to take a quick time to discuss the game last night, and specifically the importance of alternate spreads, of teasers, and of live betting. If these are things that you're not taking advantage of, especially as an amateur bettor, it's really something you need to think about getting into. And here's why I say that. Because when you look at the big advantage that the Vegas bookmakers have over you and what the professional bettors have over you, it's the fact that they have a wealth of information, of statistics, and time to research games in a way that you do not. You see, us at the Distinguished DeGents podcast, we do our best to try and do as much research as we can in between like our real life in the world jobs. And Big Bucks Beta definitely has me beat when it comes to on the ground sort of research. But a lot of times, our research pales in comparison to some of the things you're going to see on a professional sports betting podcast when it comes to DVOA research, Football Outsiders stuff. They just have a wide variety of different databases at their disposal and statistics at their disposal that you are not. And they also have time to go dissect every aspect of the game and really figure out which numbers are bad in a way that you, as an amateur sports bettor or a sports bettor doing this for fun, or even somebody who's maybe, done a bit more sports betting than an amateur might be able to do. So the professional sports books are, in the same way, going to really be able to go and set numbers, especially when it comes to these primetime sort of games, when they know that every person with an interest in the game is going to think about betting it. These sports books are going to go and do the research and put in the time to pick the best numbers. And especially this year, you see how many of these games has it come down to where spread ends at 3 points and the game ends, 5 points. This game, perfect example. You see the Eagles there. They were a 14-point favorite. Couple turnovers, couple miscues. The game ends 12 points, and the public gets taken to the woodshed because the majority of the bets are on the Eagles minus 14. Now, a professional bettor would say, well, just be better. Bet Houston Texans plus 14. But to me, looking at the game, and I actually had a discussion with Big Bucks Warfare earlier, there was never really a point in that game where you felt that the Eagles were on the wrong side of the game and were the wrong choice. So in that sense, if you wanted to bet the Eagles but had concerns about the number, use your 6 point teasers, use your alternate spreads to get past the big numbers. Those numbers being, think about it, if you look at football, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 14, 13, those common numbers that a lot of those games are going to end on. You had the ability not only to put the Eagles in a teaser, use the Eagles as an alternate spread to make money, but what you also could have done, and this is definitely an advantage to our friends in states that already have mobile betting, is you could have gone and live bet the Eagles, especially around halftime, especially in the beginning of the third quarter. You could have had the Eagles at -7 plus 104 in some cases, or -7.5 plus 104, and you could have won a bet on what I think would have been picking the right side. So, whole purpose of this video was really to explain the fact that if you are going to try and consistently beat Vegas spreads on the NFL and especially Vegas spreads in prime time, it's an incredibly difficult thing to do because so many of the games tend to be tight and tend to fall close to the spread. So if you want to increase the odds of yourself doing well, especially as an amateur bettor, you really need to start taking into account the fact that you can tease these teams, that alternate spreads are available, and that most importantly, what I think is really the best weapon for, any amateur betting, any amateur bettor, excuse me, is to use the live bets because you can definitely go and structure your bets in such a way where you're taking advantage of the best numbers. And if you think about it this way, when it comes down to a live bet, you have as much information as Vegas and the pro bettors at that point when it comes to making a live bet because you've seen the game, you can see how the teams are going, and you can predict the way the game is going to turn out after that point. Now, the pro bettors do have numbers on their side, they do have that research, but it's less of an advantage for the pro bettor in that case um, when it comes to a live bet than it is otherwise, just because the time periods are truncated. And especially, too, a lot of times if the game is not one that is in a primetime slate, like especially 1 o'clock games, a lot of the live betting numbers that are used are kind of algorithmic in nature and not necessarily the best numbers for the Vegas sportsbook because they're trying to react in the minute to put up the numbers. And that is going to give you a much bigger advantage as a player than maybe you would have with the regular numbers. So, just a thought. Definitely, if you haven't already, definitely check out the possibility of live betting, especially the NFL. Definitely check out teasers. Definitely check out alternate spreads. If you're a regular spread player and you're hitting 65%, no need to listen to this video. Congratulations. Please tell me your secret because honestly, we would all benefit from learning your secrets. But yeah, just a thought in terms of, you know, the result of the Philadelphia Eagles game and kind of another sort of tough beat for the betting public where a lot of people were probably right on and the Eagles really very easily maybe could have covered the number, but unfortunately fell 2 points short. So just a thought. Hope you enjoyed this Friday night video. Have a good rest of your night.